Listen, if you think that grinding nonstop is actually going to be the key to your success, you are dead wrong, and I hate to break that to you. The nonstop hustle and bustle culture is actually burning you out and doing more harm than good when it comes to your efficiency and creativity. So stick around because I'm going to talk about how taking strategic breaks can actually be exactly what you need to boost your productivity and to increase your creativity. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, I'm Tara, your go to strengths based productivity and success coach. My mission here is to help overwhelmed and ambitious millennials reclaim control of their time, find their purpose again, and ultimately turn their hot messes into hot successes. So, if this sounds like something that you want or need, then definitely subscribe to my channel because I come at you with some tips and strategies each week. But let's jump into it for this week. Constant work is not the badge of honor that you think it is. The hard truth is actually that constant work is inhibiting and hurting your productivity. When your brain doesn't have a chance to rest, it's operating on fumes, which ultimately leads to mistakes and inefficiencies in your workflow, which is the exact opposite of what you're trying to achieve in the first place. So, like, here's the deal: working smarter, not harder, is actually knowing when you need to hit pause. Our brains are just like batteries, and so they drain throughout the day when we use them, just like your phone. And they can't operate at their most effective efficiency or efficient manner when they're at that low battery phase. So when you are drained, it's very similar. You are not operating at 100% if you are not resting. And I don't know about you, but I personally don't like to half ass anything. And so I want to make sure that I'm operating at 100% as much as I possibly can. Now, let's get into some actual like break strategies that you can do that are a little bit more than just your typical like take a walk or have a cup of coffee. And the first one that I want to talk about is called novelty breaks. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's really just where you pick up something new or do something different than what you were currently doing in that moment. So let's say you're working at your desk, writing an article or writing a report. When it's time for you to take that break, not only do you need to physically remove yourself from your desk, but it's important to switch gears pretty much completely. And instead of just getting on your phone, hopping on TikTok and scrolling through and watching all the videos, do something that's a little bit more engaging and active. This may be trying a different, like, I don't know, exercise or mindfulness activity that's like a 5 minute easy thing for you to do, but something that's completely different than what you're currently doing. Or it may be doodling. So it may be stepping away, but grabbing your journal or your notebook, notepad, whatever that looks like, to do some doodling or hand lettering or whatever activity that taps into that other side of your brain. So that's really what novelty breaks are about, is taking what you're currently doing. Let's say you're doing a left brained type of activity and switching gears completely for a few minutes and doing something that's more of a right brained activity, just to give your left side of the brain a break, engage the right side of the brain so that way they can talk to one another and be a little bit more effective and efficient in the work that you're doing. And I know you've probably heard of the Pomodoro Technique. And if you haven't, I'll link the video up wherever it goes up here, because I talked about it in an earlier video about the Pomodoro Technique. But basically, what it is you work for a certain amount of time, let's say a 25-minute sprint, and then you take a 5 minute break. But to mix it up a little bit and to help with your creativity and just give your brain that rejuvenation that it's looking for with that strategic break, during those 5 minute breaks, switch it up each time on what you actually do. So do different types of breaks. Let's say your first 5 minute break may be a physical activity piece. So I may step away from my desk and hop on my walking pad, or I may do some stretching. Maybe my second 5 minute break is where I do a quick cleanup or tidy up around my house. This helps with movement, but it also helps knock one of those to-do items off of my to-do list that doesn't take a whole lot of brain space. The whole point here is very similar to what I mentioned earlier about novelty breaks, is to just switch up your brain keep your brain guessing a little bit about what you're going to be doing, and to rest certain pieces of your brain to give it that rejuvenation that it's looking for. So that way you can come back energized and ready to focus and having a little bit more open mind to some creativity and some innovation. Another idea is to create a mini vacation spot either in your workspace or nearby. So that way you can actually just step away and almost remove yourself from the situation. So for me, that is my hammock on the back porch. I love that space. And honestly, if I could live on that back porch, I probably would. It's perfect for me. It's a screened in porch. The hammock is where I read, where I rest, where I enjoy the nature around me without getting eaten up by the mosquitoes here in the South. But that's where I need to go if I need just a quick little reset. When I need to hit that reset button, I don't know about you, but I often need that throughout the day. Instead of just scrolling through social media or doing something that's really not helpful, I go ahead and just set my timer for 5 minutes and I go and sit on that hammock and swing around and feel the breeze. And I almost feel like I'm on vacation without having to ever leave my workspace. And this quick tip kind of goes along with that one of taking a quick nature break. So we know that the outdoors does so much for our well being. Sunshine, fresh air, it really makes a huge difference. And so maybe just it's taking a quick 5 minute lap around the parking lot or around your neighborhood, whatever that looks like. Or it could just be literally stepping outside and breathing the fresh air. But taking that moment to get in touch with the air, the smells, the sights, the sounds, all of that, engaging your five senses with nature is going to make a huge difference on your energy levels, on your mental well being, and also on your productivity and creativity. You could also do a brain dump break. So, once again, step away from your desk, but keep a notebook handy or with you where anytime that something pops into your brain, instead of taking it away from your work, you just jot it down. This is honestly the thing that saves me so much time in the end because I'm not worried about forgetting that thing that popped in my brain. I know I've written it down. I have one place that has all of my brain dump ideas. And even if I don't have my notebook with me, I may put it in the notes app on my phone so that way I can transfer it. Whatever system works for you, the important part is to clear that mental clutter and create that space physically almost in your brain. So that way it has that space for the more creative and innovative thoughts that need to occur with the projects or things that you're working on. So you may, like I said, you may keep it all on your phone. That's cool too. I personally try to keep out of my phone as much as I can during the workday. So that's why I have my little notepad or my digital notepad on my iPad to be able to jot down whatever thoughts come to my mind. I don't judge those thoughts. I don't really let them sit and linger for too long. It pops in, I write it down and release it. And then at the end of the day, I can review my brain dump notes and see what I need to do with those, where I need to fit those in the next day, week, month, whatever that looks like. But that way I have record of everything that I thought of. And like I said, I'm not worried about forgetting about it. This also helps me sleep so much better. I have some anxiety. And so part of my symptoms of anxiety is that my brain literally never stops. And having something where I'm writing down my thoughts has helped the brain quiet a little bit at night. So that way I'm not as active in my brain when I'm doing my wind down routine and getting ready for the evening. So try a brain dump and see if that helps with your creativity and with your productivity in the end. And um, let me know your thoughts too in the comments about that. And probably this last tip is likely my favorite tip is to take a laugh break. I love to laugh. So I'm always looking for videos, or I may call a friend that I know is just going to make me just do a good belly laugh. I mean, like a hearty laugh where personally I may snort. That has really helped with my productivity amazingly because endorphins are really important to stress reduction. As Elle Wood said in Legally Blonde, endorphins make you happy, and happy people just don't kill their husbands. They just don't. But in all seriousness, having that stress reduction moment where you're laughing, having a good time, it spikes your endorphins, it calms your nerves a little bit, um, and releases some of that stress and tension that you may be holding within your body. We know that we carry stress physically, not just emotionally in our bodies. And that can have a profound impact on the way you work and how efficiently you work as well. So, the next time you're feeling stressed, the next time you're feeling overwhelmed, just either pull up those funny videos, call a friend, find that comedian that you like, whatever you need to do to get a good, hearty laugh in, make sure that you do that and see how much of a difference it makes for you. I'll tell you, I used to skip breaks all the time and work straight through lunch, work hard. I would show up before everybody else and leave after everybody else in the office. And I thought that I was being super productive and being awesome. But I was realizing that like my energy and my performance were tanking. And so that's why I started trying some of these strategies. You know, I mentioned the brain dump has been a huge lifesaver for me. It has been something that has really helped, not just with my productivity, but with my anxiety levels. And taking those laughter breaks has been just important for me. I really like to laugh, and I don't know who doesn't. So I want to do that as much as I possibly can. It's all about finding what works for you, what fits for you, but the important thing is to remember that you need the breaks. The breaks are what makes you productive and successful. Those folks that are the most successful, they're taking breaks. You may not see it on social media, you may not see it in the articles that are written about them, but I promise you, if they're successful, chances are they're taking breaks somewhere during their day. Think of breaks as an investment in your personal and professional development. You're not slacking off, you're actually prepping your mind, body, and soul to perform at its peak. And that's what we're looking for. If you don't hit pause, you can't go. So remember to take those mindful and strategic pauses so that way you can be your best self at work and at home. If you found any of these tips helpful, please share this video with a friend. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to my channel so that you can stay up to date with all the tips and strategies that I share on a weekly basis. And by the way, if you're looking for more personalized guidance on boosting your own productivity, I invite you to check out my Hot Mess Overhaul coaching program. It's designed intentionally to help you reclaim control, find your purpose again, and achieve your goals. I'll add the link in the description so you can check it out. Thanks so much for being here and for tuning in. I am wishing you a week filled with more hot successes than hot messes. Stay tuned for next week's video. I can't wait to see you then.